Hey everybody, my name is Mattatari, and today we're going to go ahead and run a couple of duels here with my Blue Eyes Chaos Max OTK deck that I showcased in the previous video. If you haven't already checked out that video, I will go ahead and link it in the top right of this video as well as down in the description. You can find it on my channel as well. But there were a lot of comments here that were looking to see some examples of how this deck was run, like setups, combos that you could set up. So we're going to go ahead and run a couple of duels here against a couple of different decks just to get a feel for different situations this deck will put us in. Typically, I like to go second with this deck, but going first can be, fine as well. It all just depends on the fate of the coin toss. So without any further ado, let's get right into these duels. Alright, so for this first duel here, we draw into what I consider to be the perfect hand for this deck. I'm going to go ahead and pause this here so we can break it down. We're starting with an Incantation Bookstone, which is fantastic. This does everything you need it to do as long as you have the Ritual spell. Next, we have a Blue Eyes alternative, which is fantastic. I always love having one of these in hand, just in case we draw into a Blue Eyes. We can special summon it, or we can use it for the Ritual itself if we had like a chaos form. In this case, we do have advanced ritual art, which is going to let us search for a Blue Eyes, a normal level 8 monster from our deck, which we have but not in our hand. Mystic Box is fantastic because once we pop this incantation, if everything goes off without a hitch, we should be able to send it to this side of the field, the opponent's side of the field, and pop it with Chaos Max. And Bingo Machine Go is going to be our insurance here, just in case they have anything to cancel our incantations effect. We can search for our Chaos Max if necessary. We are going turn 2 here, which I always prefer doing with the Blue Eyes Chaos Max deck, and it looks like they are running a Blue Eyes deck of their own. They are playing a Maiden here, which is the effect of Maiden is when you target a Maiden with card effect or a monster, it will automatically put itself into defensive position and get a special summon Blue Eyes to the opponent's side of the field here. We drew into a Melody of Awakening Dragon, which is fantastic, just even more searching cards. We're going to pop Bingo Machine Go first, just in case, trying to bait out anything like an Ash Blossom or something the opponent can negate. We are going to search for our Chaos Max. We're going to search for all 3 and pull the 1 since, it's guaranteed. Next, we're going to go ahead and pop Incantation here. We're going to reveal our Ritual spell and put Incantation Bookstone on the side of the field. We're also going to special summon Talismandra and get a free additional Ritual summon here because, why not? Card effects are free. Get a second Chaos Max Dragon in our deck, in our hand, just in case. Next, we're going to play Advanced Ritual Art, which is going to toss regular Blue Eyes from our deck to the graveyard and special summon a Chaos Max Dragon to the field. There he is in all of his glory. Put him right down there. Next plan is where everything gets a little bit diabolical. We're going to activate the effect of Mystic Box, which this card is to target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Also, send one of your monsters to the opponent's side of the field. And as we see here, we have 2 0 defense monsters here. We're going to target Maiden, which is going to get a free Blue Eyes, but who cares at this point? Like, even if, they had something to stop what's about to happen, we can just easily knock off regular Blue Eyes with Chaos Max. Mystic Box is going to destroy Maiden, send over Talismandra to their side of the field, and at this point, they're just like, what the hell is about to happen? Finally, the OTK-ness comes into this deck. We're going to pop Talismandra with Chaos Max, and they are going to activate a trap here, the Trap Hole of Spikes. When an opponent's monster that was normal or special summoned this turn declares an attack, destroy the attacking monster, and if you do inflict the damage to your opponent, equal to half of the monster's original attack. But don't forget that Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon is not affected by card effects. It can't be targeted by card effects. It cannot be affected by card effects. We are going to get off with this scot-free, easy OTK, 8,000 damage, straight 2-turn game. Easy peasy. All right, this hand is not too shabby as well. We do have 2 Manjus, which will give us a free Chaos Max once we play it on the field and get its effect. We have an Incantation Candle, which we can reveal our Chaos form and get a Talismandra. So that's 2 0 defense monsters here. And we also have Creature Swap. So we have everything we need, as long as this opponent is not going to negate anything that we do, to get a 0 defense monster on their side of the field and pop him with Chaos Max. So he's going to go ahead and Xyz into number 39 Utopia, which he's also going to double Xyz for number S39 Utopia. And this card effect basically says that if this card does battle, we cannot use any of our effects in response to the battling phase from S39. He's also going to have a Tornado Bringer backing him up here, giving him an additional for a total of 3,800 damage here. We're going to go ahead and use Incantation Candle Gonna reveal our Chaos form and get our Talismandra onto the field. Talismandra is gonna search for an additional monster here, which we're just gonna get a second Chaos Max, because rule of thumb, if you can have two, get two. I mean, it never hurts to have an extra monster that you need in your deck. We're gonna reveal our Chaos Max Dragon. We're gonna use the Chaos form to bring him out. We're gonna use that additional Chaos Max as the requirement here to ritual summon him, get him onto the field, and then next we're going to use Creature Swap, which Creature Swap is each player chooses one monster they control and switches them to the other side of the field. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do anything about that, so we get his Utopia, his precious Utopia. We give him our Talismandra, the taking one for the team champ here, and then we're just going to go ahead and plow right into Talismandra, get a free 8,000 damage. This deck is just, I just have so much fun playing this deck. I cannot express it more than that. All right, another really great hand. Anytime you can draw into incantations, you're going to have a good time, especially when you have one of each. Bingo Machine Go is going to be great because we can search for the additional level 8 monster that we need, whether it be a regular blue eyes or the alternative white. And we have Chaos Max Dragon, which starting with Chaos Max is never not good. So they're going to go ahead and Pot of Extravagance, put a Summoner Monk on the field in defensive position. We're going to go a little bit crazy here with these Knight cards. I think he's just going to Xyz into he's a number 60 here in defensive position. And that effect is skip your next main phase. So he's going to special summon Armageddon Knight back onto the field from the graveyard. Going to put another monster from his graveyard his deck into the graveyard and leave both monsters in defensive position. We all know what's going to happen when that happens here. So we're going to draw into a Creature Swap, which is the last piece of the puzzle we need here. That was a full YuGiOh moment. Heart of the Cards gives us exactly what we need. Incantation Talismandra is going to go ahead and head onto the field first. We're going to special summon a Candle from our deck to the field and get an advanced ritual art because that's exactly what we needed. We're going to pop that right off the bat, wasting no time at all here, sending Blue Eyes to the graveyard, we're getting Chaos Max onto the field, and you know exactly what's going to happen next. We're going to Creature Swap. He's going to give us that number 60 here. We are going to Chaos Max him right into the Shadow Realm. Easy 2-turn kill deck. I'm telling you here, just one turn is all you need. And in this last game here, we are going to get a very good hand in my opinion. We're starting out with Manju, which is going to give us our ritual monster with its effect, Talismandra, which we can hopefully, draw into a ritual spell and use its effect. We've got Alternative Eyes, which you can never go wrong, and 2 Mystic Boxes just in case the first one doesn't work. So we're going to see what he does. He just places a monster face down, which we know is the cardinal sin here, but Gonki apparently does not know what is about to happen. I think he might though, given the fact that he does have Chaos Max card sleeves, ironically. So we're popping Manju. We're going to get our Chaos form from Manju here because we don't have a ritual spell. Next, we can use the effect of Candle, which we luckily drew into. Reveal our Chaos form, put that onto the field, which brings another Talismandra, which is going to give us our big beefy boy, the big blue legend. Chaos form is going to destroy. I like to use the, in this case, I used Candle and Manju just so we didn't have a liability 1400 monster faced up on the field. That's going to give us Chaos Max and our literal 1/0 defense monster here. We're going to use Mystic Box, destroy the face down, send over our Talismandra, and the rest is just poetry in motion. This deck is just way too much fun. I'm telling you here. So wrapping up some closing thoughts here, what I will say about this deck is it very comfortably carried me from rookie to gold. I would say gold 2, gold 1. Gold 1 is where I started to struggle with this deck a little bit, but up until then, you will have a very easy ride running this deck from, wherever you're starting up until about the high gold ranks here. I have played a couple of these decks, or I have played this deck for a couple of matches in Platinum to more or less just mixed results. Basically, the biggest weakness that this deck has is if anybody can stop the Ritual Summon. I mean, the incantations, stopping those effects or the Manju effect, it's not necessarily a huge deal as long as you have other cards to fall back on. But if anybody is able to stop or negate your Ritual Summon here, that is the huge gaping hole in this deck. I've been thinking about some revisions here, about taking some True Lights out and adding in some, like a Solemn Judgment or something to counter that here. So there will be an additional revision of this deck. I'm going to try to craft it a little bit more Platinum friendly so that way it can can possibly be played at higher levels. I don't want to lose faith in this deck. These cards are just so goddamn cool to me. I want to see these monsters thrive, man. I want to see these monsters climb the ranks, climb the ladder. So there will be a revision. I'm going to drop in a revision video, like a more platinum focused version of this deck, a little bit more top tier cards rather than like some budget friendly cards. So yeah, those were all of the duels where this deck thrives and has the best success. Turn 2 is a must here, and as long as you draw into you know, some favorable cards, I cannot think of a time that I've bricked here. The only struggles I've ever had, again, were when people would stop or negate my ritual summon. But other than that, this deck is just so much fun to play. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something here. I hope you enjoyed the duels as much as I did. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace!